Good morning, everyone. Futures Brizio here, 10:15 on Wednesday, October 30th. Hope you're having a great day so far and a great week. Figured I'd try to jump on here a little bit earlier today and do a quick update. So as always, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're just finding it for the first time, and any questions or comments, as always, drop them down below in the comment section. I do read and respond to everything. Okay, so I guess we'll just jump right in. So let's take a look at copper. So as I've been saying the last couple of videos here, that copper just remains inside this pretty narrow trading range. This is the 1 hour futures chart, December contract for copper on a line chart, and you can turn on the candlesticks. It's the same thing, right? We're just trading in a range. I did say, I don't know whether it was the beginning of this week or last week, that I did expect to see copper begin to move up, as we technically did have a little break of structure right here from this swing high, although this wasn't a really great swing right here, but we did go up here, make this little swing here on the 4 hour chart down, make a new low, and we broke out, and then we came back and just been trading sideways ever since. I still would like to see this thing, take out this swing area where I have this line before I would, really be comfortable going long. You can see right now here on the 4 hour chart, we have a pretty strong 4 hour candle forming. Here's the hourly chart, and, again, we have been moving higher here the last few hours, but we've done that before. We did it over here, we did it over here, we did it over here, only to come right back into the trading range. So I'm certainly not going to be jumping into this anytime soon, but I'll be keeping an eye on it. But as of right now, there's been really no change in the structure. Basically, I'm looking for either this thing to continue its downtrend and take out these levels, which it's been holding very nicely, or to come up here and sweep out all of this stuff and really take out this swing high over here, which is the one I'd really like to see taken out. To give me a little bit more confidence about this thing going higher. So that's kind of where I remain right now on copper. So with crude oil, on crude oil, we've still been in a downtrend here, and we now are back above the moving average, which is, a potential setup for me for a short position if we get a structure break. If we go down to a 5-minute chart, this is the recent structure level. You can see we bounced right off of it, and it does look like we're going higher here. The other thing to note is the last time we came up here and tagged the moving average, we really failed to put in a new low. We basically put in equal lows. So we could be looking at a turn to go higher here. If we zoom out a little bit, we do have, some support down here where price just bounced. So I wouldn't be surprised if we keep going higher here, in which case my bias might, turn more to the long side. But right now I'm still, I guess I'm kind of neutral. If you want to consider this to be a recent swing right here, let's put the candlesticks on so you can see the wicks. Here's that swing right here. And you can see we did try to pop through it and then came right back again. If we can continue going up here and take out this high right here that was put in on this wick and get like a definitive close above this high, then I'd probably be a little bit more inclined to potentially go long. But in the meantime, as long as we kind of remain muted here inside of this area, I'm not too interested in trading this yet. As I did say the other day, I do expect that this big gap in the chart will be filled at some point. So if price comes up here, and fills in this gap, which happened on Sunday when the market opened, we had this candle here on the 25th, which was on Friday, and then we opened up on Sunday way down here on some fundamental news. So we have this big gap right here that probably still needs to be filled. So that would be a nice short-term target if price does turn and go higher, to at least come back up somewhere inside this gap and fill it. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one, although I'm still biased more longer term to the downside. Like I said, we have come into some support here on the higher time frames, and there is a gap that needs to be filled, so that leans a little bit more to at least short-term strength, but we'll see what happens with this one. Now that we've crossed above the moving average, for a short trade, I'm basically looking for this support area to be taken out. If price comes down here, we had this push away from it, price has now come back to it and seems to be bouncing. If this bounce doesn't hold and this comes back and takes out this structure, I do have an alarm set right below here, then I would probably re-enter short. If we decide we want to go higher, then I'd probably want to see price come back up here more aggressively, close preferably back above this high, above this wick, and then I would probably target at least a very short-term trade somewhere inside this gap, maybe the 50% level of this gap, which is probably somewhere right in this area, just eyeballing it here. So that's kind of my two different views on crude oil right now. So I'm not taking anything right now, but I am watching this, and like I said, I'm kind of neutral on it at the moment. So over to gold. So with gold, just continues to crank higher here. We are pulling back today, and so there's no trade in here right now. If price wants to continue the uptrend, I'd probably want to see some kind of trend line break off of these, on the short time. This is a 5-minute time frame. Probably want to see price come up and take out these structure levels right here to continue this going higher. But like I said, I don't really trade gold, but there is a pullback here, and as long as we maintain above recent structure levels, which I guess the most recent one's probably right here, as long as we remain above here, then you have to keep gold in a bullish light. So I'd love to see it pull back to these moving averages, maybe even a little bit below it, and look for some bullish price action back to the upside. But we don't have that right now. Might not get it today anyway. But I'll keep an eye on gold. But overall bullish still on gold. And then natural gas. So you can see I am short on natural gas. I took this short earlier today, although price is kind of pulling back here. But so I'm going to keep an eye on this. But basically, we had this big impulsive move down, then we had a break back above the moving average. And I was talking yesterday about filling in this imbalance on this move to the downside. I would have loved to have seen it come back a little higher, and I did get in late because this happened early this morning when I was honestly just waking up, so it had already started moving before that. So I did jump in a little bit late, but it did come up, and it did look like it has tried to fill in some of this imbalance that was created on this big move down, and we did technically just put in a low right here. Let's put the candlesticks on for a second. Yeah, I mean, we did poke a new low. I mean, it was only a wick. I mean, I'd obviously much prefer to see it close, the body of the candle close on the low instead of just a big wick, because this just suggests that there's buyers swooping in here, and that's a little concerning when I see these big wicks at these new lows. But this is only an hourly chart, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come back and retest this a little bit. And but I still remain bearish on natural gas, at least down to these levels. And if we go to the futures chart, I think I mentioned this the other day. On the futures chart, it looks a lot different, right? We had price come all the way back up here and hit this imbalance right here, and sold off, and we had this push down, we had retrace, and then tried to push down again. So the CFD chart, the cash chart, did I say future chart? This is the CFD chart, basically the cash chart. Looks more bearish to me than the futures chart right now, but this is kind of what my basis is here. And again, we are having a lot of buying off of this level here, but we'll see if that holds. And just looking at the cash charts for these other assets, so here's copper, again showing that sideways momentum, not really doing anything, just pushing sideways, looks very similar to the futures chart. Oil, it's the same thing here. Here's that gap from Sunday. So again, we might see this push up and fill in this gap, but that's kind of how I'm looking at for oil. So, all right. So that's the update right now. Again, still neutral on copper. I would say for oil, still bearish, but maybe short-term bullish here, at least to fill in the gap. And natural gas, still remaining bearish on that for now. So, all right. So, and S&P, we can talk about S&P. So again, just looks like we want to keep pushing higher. We did have U.S. GDP this morning, so we did have this pullback right here. This is the 4-hour chart. So if we drop down a little bit here, let's go to the 1 hour. Look at it on the 1 hour chart. We did have this pullback, and it does look like S&P wants to continue to push up here. So the bullish momentum, I think, continues on S&P, and some kind of break of this trend line here, maybe break this high right here would be a good indicator for a long here if you're not already in it from down here, which would have been better. So, but like I said, I don't look at this market a lot, so it wasn't even something I was looking at. So, but we did have some news this morning, so that caused some pullback, but that looks like that's flushed out now and potentially going to go back long here. So, all right, so I'll leave it there, guys. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. Again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and perhaps I'll come back later this afternoon if anything really big comes about and shakes out. We get any better clarity on these, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.